Test 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. Test, test. Test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test. All right. I'm going to go share this Innovator Meetup link with those guys and then start in a handful. 1:15, 11:15. Cool. Here, I have that link for you.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. Uh-huh. Mute it.
Mute it when you don't want anybody to hear you. I'm just going to keep it on.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. No feedback.
Okay. Test, test. Test, test.
No
Great.
feedback.
Yeah, looks good. Okay, great.
Cool. It's on to the bottom.
Okay, great. We got that up.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, man. Oh, 2346. It's my childhood phone number.
Oh, you had something against 5.
Yeah, rural South Dakota does, I guess. Yeah.
Both of you, so
All right, I'm not on mute now.
Great. Nice.
Good.
All right, let's. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Zaid, are you ready for us to start? I'm gonna stop. Do it. Yeah. You're off mute on your mic.
Say we good?
Okay, great.
Okay. Yeah, you got me on the lapel mic? Cool. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for being here. We're kicking off the 3rd annual hackathon, or HackED, at ACEP. You know, we had a crazy idea 402 hackathons ago to give an opportunity for emergency clinicians and emergency medicine stakeholders to try and create the solutions that they felt they needed in emergency medicine, rather than waiting for stuff to just come and then criticizing. So rather than reacting, we're driving. That's kind of been the theme, not just for Hackathon, but for our Emergency Medicine Data Institute and ACEP for the past couple of years. And we're so excited that every year we've kind of grown. We've gotten not just new competitors, but new ideas. And every year that's giving us something new to innovate on our end. Every year we try and grow and change this competition. And we take it closer and closer to a competition that produces a solution that can go to market right after it's done. That's really our goal here, to really create powerful solutions that everybody can use and start developing things, start creating new career paths for themselves as fast as possible. So I'm very excited that we have another hackathon this year, and hopefully we'll have another hackathon in Salt Lake next year. And I'm even more excited that for the past 2 years, we've been able to collaborate with the EMIC folks. Nick and Zaid have been godsends, have really helped us grow this to something that we couldn't have hoped or imagined 3 years ago. And so without further ado, we'll kick this off and give it to Nick and Zaid.
Awesome. Thanks, Drew. And a big thank you to ACEP for being such wonderful partners. My name is Nick. I'm one of the co-founders of the Emergency Medicine Innovation Collaborative, along with Zaid, who's in the back, working really hard on our first ever live stream. And we're thrilled to have you all here today. This is the 3rd annual HackED event. Last year, if you were here, you'll remember we had an innovation and a hackathon track. And then this year, we're excited to pivot a little bit into hardware and software. Over the past 2 months, we've had several different speaker series talking about things like design thinking, scaling your solutions, trying to give you a little bit of a foundation for how to succeed and grow as part of the Hack ED experience here. So with that, we'll go ahead and kick things off. I'm going to start us off with a brief icebreaker. So if you don't have anybody at your table, go ahead and switch to a table that has someone at it. Great, thanks. And so as part of this, some of you may have a full team here, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Others, you may be working virtually with your teams. That's totally okay, and that's what we expect, particularly when we're doing things with folks from all across the country and the world. But we want to give you a chance to get to know each other a little bit better. And part of our hope is you're cross-collaborating and working with folks that aren't even on your team to share your ideas and help you pivot. So as part of that, if you need to access the participant packet, there's a QR code here. And then we've also got the QR code in the back. So feel free to access that. That has the full schedule, which is also on this back panel, as well as a bunch of other resources that'll be helpful for you. We'll be bringing this QR code back in just a second too. So if you miss it, no worries. Again, it's also on the iPad at that back table. All right, so to get us started, just to take a moment to get to know each other a little bit better, I want to know a little bit more about who you are, and I'm sure you're curious about who the folks at your table are. So with that, I want you to share 3 things with the people at your table over the next 5 minutes. The first is your name, and the second is your role, so where you're coming from. Are you an emergency medicine resident, attending physician? Are you in tech? Are you a trainee medical student? And then the third thing is in an emergency you've experienced in real life. This doesn't have to be medical. So for example, one day on shift I tore my scrubs and ended up needing to find some suture to suture them back together. So it can be something a little bit less crazy than saving somebody on an airplane or something. But if you have that story and you want to share it too, feel free. So I'll give you guys about 5 minutes to share those with your groups, and then we'll jump into some tips and tricks for how to succeed here at Hacked ED 2024. We had some interesting emergencies, and it's great to see everybody talking, getting to know each other. So one thing we wanted to do this year, in addition to the speaker series that you all had, to get a little bit more of a foundation in innovation, particularly as it relates to emergency medicine, is give you all some tips and tricks on how to succeed here at ACEP. So if you take a look around you, we have this huge exhibit hall, thousands of people, tons of vendors, and that's one thing we want to leverage this year in the hackathon. So we've got some tips and tricks for how to succeed here at ACEP. First off, congratulations on being here. Congratulations on investing in yourself, your ideas, and really using the scientific assembly time to build some hands-on skills that will help you take your career, whatever you want that to look like, to the next level. We're really excited to have you. So we have a few tips and tricks that we want to share that I think will help you take advantage of and make the most of this time at Scientific Assembly this year. And the first one is really thinking about the problem you're trying to solve. So if you think back to that design thinking primer that Delphine Wong gave now about a month ago, you really want to start with that process of empathizing with your users to create that value proposition and thinking about, okay, who exactly am I designing for and what are they actually looking for? So again, it's finding that problem that the end users need, not creating a solution for a problem that doesn't exist. So focusing on your end users, good news is if you look behind you, you have hundreds, if not thousands of them standing out there right now. And then also utilizing this environment. So going and talking with other vendors, taking your MVP around, whether that's a sketch or something on your computer or iPad or phone, getting some feedback from people in real time to help iterate on your product. The next tip that we have for you, or thing that we recommend, is recognizing your strengths. So you may be an emergency medicine trainee, you may be an attending physician, you may have been investing and evaluating companies for years. Using those strengths within your team and leveraging those to help succeed. If you've got most of your team virtually and you're the only one here that's going to be presenting, getting some ideas from those folks that are virtual about, okay, how do I present X and Y? Doing some dry runs, getting some feedback also from folks in the exhibit hall can be really, really helpful. If you are terrified of speaking in front of people, maybe that's where you let somebody else run most of your pitch on Tuesday afternoon. But if you're really skilled at building web platforms, coding, then maybe that's where you step in a little bit more. The next tip we have is to keep it simple. So here we are Sunday at around 11:30 a.m. Your pitches are in less than 48 hours. So really keeping that in mind and thinking, okay, what's realistic in this specific time frame? One thing that can help a lot with that is solving a specific pain point. So right now is not the time to go solve all of the biggest problems in emergency medicine. It's not the time to reinvent the way the EHR works. But it is the time to think really specifically about a problem within a specific area for a specific group and iterate on a solution to that problem. Something I've found helpful with these in the past is setting some specific milestones. So after this, you're going to have a couple hours to start working through your innovation process. So set a couple milestones. What do you want to have done by the end of this afternoon, by tomorrow morning, by tomorrow afternoon, so that you're on track for Tuesday at 10 a.m. when those pitches start. Another one, if you're anything like me and probably most physicians, you hate failing. Failure is not an option. You have a sick patient, you need to resuscitate them. Innovation is a little bit different. You want to fail and you want to fail fast because that's how you learn. Something that really drove this home for me was early in COVID, I was so determined to build an MD-Calc style tool that would help providers in my emergency department know exactly what tests to use, what PPE to wear. I put it out there and it was a total flop. People hated it. But I asked people why they hated it. And what I heard was, oh, we want to actually see the entire algorithm all at once. I don't want to be walking through stepwise to get to a specific point. And so we blew that up and made it a full algorithm view rather than these kind of click boxes. And now it's become this digital information hub that's used at multiple hospitals throughout Northern California, and has become really popular. So that was a really big moment for me of learning, okay, we got to fail fast, we got to learn from it. Be a sponge for feedback here. Again, thinking about the exhibit hall and all the attendees here. Go get their feedback. Try your product out. Try your pitch out. I'm sure you can find a few people, grab them, bring them over here. You'll have plenty of time to utilize the screen too and the mic to practice your pitches for Tuesday. So embrace those opportunities to pivot and learn. Then finally, have fun. We are so excited to have all of you here for ACEP 24. We're excited to continue to cultivate this innovation sphere within emergency medicine. 3 years ago, this didn't exist. Last year, we were in a space that had a lot of other stuff going on. And then this year, we've got much more of an innovation hub. We have all of these emerging companies being showcased around the area, and excited for this to continue to grow. So have fun, share your ideas and your feedback with us. Get to know each other, cross-pollinate among your teams. This isn't meant to be siloed. It's meant to be an environment where you can get to know each other, build some connections that will hopefully help you take your career, your product, your ideas to that next level. We want you to leave here both with some skills and some tangible next steps for something that you can do to really help do cool things. All right, so again, up here we've got the QR code for the participant packet. There's a lot of helpful information in there. And the next thing on our schedule is some time to go ahead and work with your teams, get to know each other. Zaid, Drew, myself will be walking around and helping coach folks. We have some coaches coming in throughout the next couple of days as well. So if there are times where you want to ask some questions, get some ideas, maybe run your pitch deck by an extra set of eyes that has some experience, those are great opportunities to do that. I'd encourage you even to do that early on today, to run those early ideas past our coaches who will be wandering around. So we're happy to have you here, and we'll get Hacked kicked off. Yes? What's that?
How will we know who the coach is, and how will
Yeah.
they know who we are?
So the question is, how will you know who the coaches are, and how will they know who you are? So we're going to have the coaches wandering around from table to table, so they will come find you. They'll identify themselves. And they will be coming typically for 30 to 60-minute intervals, but they'll be walking around saying, hey, I'm one of the coaches. Do you have any questions for me? Is there anything you want to run by me? We've got a few coming in as early as this morning and this afternoon. Most of them will be tomorrow. Any other questions? That's a great question. All right. Otherwise, we're here the entire time, too. This space is yours. So the exhibit hall today is open until 4 o'clock. You've got the space, the entire opens at 9:30. So come in early if you like, grab some coffee. There's typically free coffee over there as well, and innovate away. Any other questions? Awesome. Cool. Welcome, everybody.